Episode 125, Red Leaf Retrocast, Retro Gaming. I am JD. Joey, Colin, we're all back together again. Hooray!
Yes, we're here.
So excited, Joey.
The most.
It's been a month since you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I've been busy.
What you been up to? All video games, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's video games, weddings, bunch of other shit. Just been busy.
I mean, I've been busy sucking at bowling for the past 6 weeks, but, neither here nor there.
Have you tried not sucking?
I took some advice where a guy said, just throw a good ball. And I went, oh my God, you're right. If I just do that, all my problems will be solved.
Yeah, if you do that every time, you can get 300.
I've heard, that's just a rumor, though. It's a fabled mystery that will never be solved. I played golf a couple times the last couple weeks before the season ended, and that was fun. And doing a lot of housework. So that's what I've been doing. Besides playing a couple of video games, I have to scrummage together like a TV in a corner and hook up the old PlayStation 1 to play one of the games for this podcast. So I was like, what am I doing? This is so jank. My entire setup. I just got the master bedroom done so I could actually have like a competent place to sleep finally. That took 2 weeks to do in total, at least in time frames, but now I have a TV in the room, a bed, little kotatsu setup, so I'm good in the master bedroom. Now it's the basement time, and then I can slowly start putting together the video game bachelor pad area that I've always wanted.
Awesome.
But as for like Dragon Quest or Triangle Strategy or even God of War Ragnarok that I just bought, and then I realized I don't know where the TV remotes are. I did find them yesterday. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. But there's on the Samsung TV that it was set up.
Hey.
Hold on. It's set up where I have to have the sound bar and all these inputs, everything, and I'm like, it's just so much hassle to do everything manually by the one little button that this Samsung TV has. I'm like, I guess I'm not playing God of War Ragnarok anytime soon. At this point, I might as well wait until Black Friday when I want to buy the 50-inch plus 4K TV that I want.
Nice.
That's what I'm going to do, and that's going to be the big basement TV. So I might as well wait for that when I can play in 4K. I mean, it's only a couple weeks away. Joey.
Sounds awesome.
What have you been doing?
Game-wise, play a little bit of Year Back City Builder, which is a pretty fun city builder. I really like the way that the things evolve as you meet the requirements, but it also can fuck you over if they evolve too fast and you run out of resources, so you got to do a nice little balance.
Oh.
So you have to control like what you want to evolve into better buildings for residents and when you want to sit there and wait until you can actually handle it.
Okay.
Because once you like start losing food, then you just quickly go back and forth, and it gets crazy. I played a little bit of Settlement Survivor, which was interesting, but I haven't played too much. Then I got an alpha key to a game I backed on. Whatchamacallit? I can't remember the name of it. Whatever the hell thing you back stuff on. Kickstarter. That's it. So I can't even think. So I got the alpha key to that. It's the store's closed, which is based off of the SBC 3008. So I'm excited for that, but it's going to be a year before it's actually out. But the Kickstarter did really well that they did like 8 times what they asked for, so they're adding a bunch of shit to it. And then I started playing some Satisfactory again. So get my factory built on.
Colin, how about yourself?
It's just been work. It's like 2 weeks in a row of 6-day work weeks.
Ooh, you should work less.
Yeah, tell that to my company.
No, you should tell that to them. If I tell that to them, you'll probably get fired.
Yeah, several times. Several people, I think, have complained about it, but it's not going to change the fact that all those maps need to be collected, and if we don't collect those maps, we lose the contract, and then if we lose a contract, people will lose their jobs. So we're stuck until we can get more people trained up, and that's a slow process.
Isn't that just it's a worldwide thing, except in Germany, where there's not enough jobs, I think. I think that's what I read. Anyways.
Yeah, all the shifts I've worked have been over 11 hours long, and way more than that were over 13 hours long.
Terrible. I left the oil industry for that reason.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just too many hours, not living. I want to live a life, man.
Yeah.
I got a house to fix up after all.
Very true. I'm tired as fuck, but what keeps me going is the big pile of money coming my way for all that work. I've mentioned before that I wanted to buy an Oculus Rift S after everything.
You did mention this.
After all this slaving away, I feel like I've earned a full-on Valve Index. I'm hesitating on that one, though. Not because of the cost, though that is part of it, but because I did a test of my computer through Steam, and when it gave the verdict of whether or not it could handle it, the program said, perhaps.
Oh.
I mean, it checked off all the boxes of the minimum requirements, but it just said perhaps, plus the fact that it's a laptop, and they mentioned laptops aren't entirely reliable when it comes to running an index. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Specifically, Joey.
I think you probably should get a PC, set it up so you can handle it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Might just settle for the Oculus for the time being.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm getting my laptop just kind of tuned up and everything. A lot of the diagnosis was kind of, it's just parts kind of aged out and worn out. I need a new power brick so I can actually properly power up my computer. It's kind of important.
Yeah.
The guy, when I described two things to the guy, and this guy's actually worked with laptops familiar with mine, and he just goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, just thermal paste touch up here, probably replaced this part, and everything was off of eBay face value, just to keep it in simple terms. So laptop's getting a nice little just tune up, and then I guess after that it'll just be saving for a desktop or something in time."
Yeah, sooner or later I'd like to get an actual desktop.
Yeah,
I'll probably go to Meta PCs or something.
Much more affordable than laptops, and with just the advancements in tablets, I have almost no reason to ever bring a laptop with me anymore. Podcast? You know what? I'm not there.
Although last Sunday, I did have my nephews over again with my folks. We played the usual Sonic Origins, Blaster Master, and...
What, you didn't get Sonic Frontier like a boss?
That wasn't out yet.
Oh. Well, don't get that game. I watched some reviews. Did you know it's a bad Sonic game?
What a shock!
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it.
A modern 3D Sonic game sucking? Who could have ever seen that?
No one saw it coming.
Yeah.
I have not bought Bayonetta 3 yet either, but the day will come. It will come.
Yeah. Sooner or later, I'll get 2 and 3 after I've actually played 1.
I think I played 3 or 4 hours of Bayonetta 2. I was pretty satisfied with what I was playing.
Yeah, but getting back to my nephews, I even introduced them to Donkey Kong Country on Switch Online.
Ooh.
But they weren't really feeling them. I mean, they're 4 and 6 years old. They haven't quite gotten up there in terms of gaming ability.
Oh, yeah, you got to give them something much more simple. Yeah, sports games is very easy.
Yeah, the 6-year-old is continually playing Minecraft, so...
Well,
that's it.
Yeah, inventory management and just put this here, there's no actual consequences to a lot of things.
Well, he's playing the creative mode where you have literally everything available to you. So, but like I said, they weren't really feeling all those previous games. But then I broke out Mario Kart 8, and that's when things really got fun for them.
A little bit more modern, that kind of thing.
Not just that, it has auto steering, so that's a godsend for both of them, especially the 4-year-old.
I forgot about that feature. Yeah, it does have that.
Yeah. Yeah, they were having so much fun with it. My 4-year-old nephew was literally bouncing in his seat whenever a new race began. I guess they really enjoyed looking at all the bright flashy colors and all the cartoony violence. But it's the perfect game for them with the auto steering, and I can play along with them.
Right. Kick their ass, show them no mercy. I get you. Fuck them kids. Teach them the hard truth of losing.
Please never have children. For their sake. Yeah. But aside from all that, I haven't played anything besides podcast games, and even that I've barely been able to squeeze out time for. But luckily, I've played both of them before, so I can still talk extensively.
I had forgotten that I had previously played both these games, but not to any sense of extensive time.
Yeah. Well, I've beaten one of them.
As I was playing one of them, I just go, oh, this reminds me exactly of these other games I've played by the same creator. It's exactly the same. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. But we did mention that Legend of the Dragoon was going to be one of the games on the previous podcast, and Kevin told me to play at least up until the first disc finishes. Yeah. Dude, that's 20 hours.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember it being that long, but then again, it's been years.
It's like if you want to do any side quests at all.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Yeah, and anyways, that'll go into a big diatribe over Legend of Dragoon, but that's the situation there. Okay. November 13th. That's when we're recording. 2022. Yeah. Almost the end of the year. We only we only got, what, 1 or 2 casts left for this year?
I think so.
Yeah. I think next pick is mine.
I think it's mine.
No, it's Joey. It's yours. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have an idea yet. But
yeah. We'll have to decide if that's going to be the last one of the year or not. Based on family coming and all that and holidays. We usually end it around this time anyways. Beginning or middle December. So,
yeah.
Do we have anything else, or shall we get into today's topic?
Yeah, I can't think of any like gaming news or anything.
Joey?
I'm thinking about buying a PS5 right now.
Oh yeah?
Like this second?
Yes.
before the price increase?
I have one in cart for Ragnarok.
Do it.
Yeah, I think I will.
I've really enjoyed my PS5. It's a purchase I do not regret.
Nice.
Yeah. I just wish that the main UI system was customizable. Much like the Nintendo Switch, I wish some of it was customizable. I really do. It's probably my biggest complaints over the two systems at this point in time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Are you pulling the trigger, Joey?
Yeah, I'm pulling the trigger.
Yes. Ragnarok. You got to get the New Horizon game as well.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting the PlayStation 5 console bundle with Ragnarok. And
fuck yeah, Joey. PS5. PS5. That's, you know what? Good for you that you were just like, you know what? I want to buy this, and then you were able to get it. I had to scratch and claw to get one for so long.
It's the first time I went onto the PlayStation website and actually was there that I could buy instead of having to wait in line.
Right before the holidays too. What a decision, man. The game's getting outrageously good reviews, and it looks much like the other God of War, with just bigger story, grander adventure.
Which I really liked. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping this one's just as good.
Yeah. So it's that Horizon. Are you a big like Dark Souls guy?
No.
Oh, so
Not at
Elden
all.
Ring's probably scratched off your list then.
Yeah, I don't like games that are hard just to be hard.
Supposedly Elden Ring doesn't quite run that way, but I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in my PS5 library yet of playing.
If I get bored enough, I might check it out, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I found something. Apparently Ubisoft, they've been remaking Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, but due to development problems, it's being delayed again, and they're canceling pre-orders.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's
Worst part is it's happening right here in Canada.
Yeah.
Ubisoft Montreal.
It's okay. I still have the original and I really like it. I don't need
Yeah.
a remake, but I'm sure. I mean, enough time has passed where there's fucking like 3 generations of gamers that haven't played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember Yahtzee saying that the mid 2000s are how he feels that's when gaming peaked, because so many of the newer indie games nowadays are in the style of like old PS2 and GameCube and Xbox games.
I guess. I mean, I kind of think the best indie games are generally along that SNES or something style.
Yeah. A lot of them are very pixel art.
Joey
type
has stepped
things.
away to grab his credit card to finish the purchase. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's pulling the trigger live on the podcast. That is great.
We are witnessing history, folks. Drink it in.
Yeah, he's just dropping like $500. He's just like, yeah, here we go. My next $500 purchase is going to be new flooring for the basement in my gaming room. Yay.
Mine's going to be an Oculus. Probably even more than that, though I'm waiting for a Black Friday sale.
Yeah, so we're all dropping money in different ways related to gaming. So
Yeah,
fantastic. You know what? I'm going to play this drop and then we can start talking about the games. How about that?
Yeah, play Valve.
I don't have Valve. I have Crash Bandicoot, though. I'm going to play that.
Ah, man. I told you to get it when we did Half-Life, you bastard.
Okay. Colin, it was your theme pick.
Yes.
What is it? Why did you pick it?
It is games with QuickTime events. Basically, games that have QuickTime events as a central mechanic, or as virtually the entire central part of the game as its gameplay, as we'll see in our first game we discuss.
Right.
I picked it because Resident Evil 4 Last Cast had a lot of QuickTime events, and they were done pretty well. So much so, even Yahtzee agreed that they were done well. Heck, in Resident Evil 4, there's an entire fight with another character that's basically all QuickTime events. I don't know if you played that far, JD.
In Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
No, I didn't play that far. I didn't finish
Yeah,
I didn't finish the game. I really should, but
Yeah.
I've been preoccupied.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like in the second half of the game on the second disc, so I don't blame you.
No, I didn't get that far. No. No way.
But yeah, QuickTime event games. Figured just build off of our discussion of Resident Evil 4. And I thought of it. I had this topic in my list of potential topics for a while, and I figured this was as good a time as any to do it. Plus, both of these games make for great discussion value. I've played through half of the first one and beaten the second one, so we'll have a lot to talk about.
Joey, what was your impression of the two games and the topic?
I hate them.
Oh, not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't mind QuickTime events, but I don't like one of them because one, the style and look of it, and turn-based attacks, and the other one was more like a movie, and I didn't feel like I was playing a game, more of doing a choose your own adventure.
Not your style. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not my
fair
cup
enough.
of tea.
I don't mind QuickTime events. When I do mind them is when you're like you're set up for this sequence of events, and you're in the midst of battle or some mechanic, and then if you miss it once, it's game over. You know, that is some bullshit. And there's definitely some games that have done that and gone along those lines. I viscerally hate that because it's like, oh, I did so well. Oh, I missed pressing X this one time and I'm dead and have to redo all of that.
That's bullshit.
Didn't really get that feeling with these games because one of them was very interactive, but there's definitely a negative aspect to that. And then the other, while it does have that consequence, it's at least related to the story purposes, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
I don't mind. I like the theme. I think it's going to bring about some interesting conversations. And I guess we'll get into the first game. Colin.
Before we start, I just want to say you should be thanking me that I didn't choose VIP with Pamela Anderson. I was tempted to have a shitty game on the cast, but then I realized in my current state of life, I didn't want to put myself through that.
Well, like 20 minutes of pain if you must, but I think I have seen gameplay of that before.
Yeah, I briefly watched it on YouTube, and it looks like shit.
It's no good.
It's nothing but QuickTime events.
Bad game.
And they're not very good. But yeah, first game is Indigo Prophecy, or as it's originally known in Europe, Fahrenheit, for the PS2, Xbox, and PC. Developed by Quantic Dream and published by Atari. Released on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC in the EU as Fahrenheit on September 16th, 2005. And in North America as Indigo Prophecy on September 20th, 2005. And according to Wikipedia, the reason the title was changed from Fahrenheit to Indigo Prophecy for the North American release was because the Michael Moore film Fahrenheit 9/11 had been released a year earlier, and Atari wanted to avoid confusion with that title, much to David Cage's consternation.
A Michael Moore documentary made these people change their name. God.
But it was pretty big at the time.
Yeah, no. I'm not disregarding it. It just sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
You know? But it does make sense in the context of the United States because it did really get into pop culture.
Yeah. And a quick fun fact, there's actually another video game on the Sega CD called Fahrenheit where you play as a firefighter. Not exactly sure what the gameplay was like. I know that it involved like making choices every now and again.
Do I let this person burn alive or do I save the child?
Something
Sorry,
like
child.
that.
I would leave the child behind. Obviously.
Of course you would. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Came out in 95. Came out Sega CD and 32X, and then you choose which hallways to go down, which to gotta rescue victims, get rid of like kerosene containers, gas valves, all that explosive shit. And of course, you're on a time limit and a limited supply of oxygen, apparently.
Well, we're not here to talk about Fahrenheit on the Sega CD. We're here to talk about Fahrenheit on the PlayStation 2.
Yes,
Wild
yes.
that this was published by Atari, of all people.
Yeah, really. So yeah, getting back to, let's just call it Fahrenheit from now on. Indigo Prophecy is a bit of a mouthful. The plot is as follows. You follow Lucas, an everyday guy in New York City who gets possessed by a supernatural entity.
Sure he does.
As you do. And is forced to kill a man with a knife. He then finds himself on the run from the cops as he tries to uncover the truth of what happened, and along the way develops some new superpowers he's somehow acquired. And at the same time, you're playing as the cops investigating what happened and pursuing him. And I picked this one because anyone who's played a Quantic Dream game knows all of them have a heavy emphasis on QuickTime events in their respective gameplay.
They sure do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really any button pressing that I remember. It's mostly through the analog sticks.
I thought that was super unique, and I liked it.
Yeah, I like that too. That was actually interesting. And I like that you're making a movie. So you literally aren't playing a game, you're making a movie.
Yeah.
Right. Well, even on the title screen, it begins with new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't try to hide it. And I actually have played this one before, just not all the way through to the end. But I did play Heavy Rain, the spiritual successor to this one, and beat it.
Spiritual successor, it's the same thing.
Yeah, different plot, but yeah, pretty much.
You have a killer. You are you also play as the detectives, the police. Sequence of events change depending on choices. With playing through the various characters you're introduced, a lot of dialogue over and over and over again. You have dialogue choices. It is exactly Heavy Rain with a different plot mechanic.
Yeah, there's a lot of walking around with tank controls.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah. I mean, the game is fun when there's high octane action sequences happening, but there's also a lot of walking around, hiding objects, dragging bodies in to hide them, or hiding evidence of a murder, and that can get pretty tedious.
So I had a conspiracy theory for this this plot.
Okay.
I think Lucas is literally just a crazy serial killer.
Go on.
Well, he just has a deteriorating mental state. He thinks he's possessed. He thinks he's being forced to do all these things. I think he might have just a split personality. He's just legit crazy. And he has a personality that's going to take him over as the dominant personality, multiple personality disorder kind of deal. And the serial killer will be the winner in the end. And then the hot police detective will have to murder him.
Counterpoint.
Okay, counterpoint.
There was a raven or crow, so obviously the raven or crow's doing it all. Fuck them birds, dude.
Well, obviously, yeah. Kids and birds, the worst. So you think the raven or crow is spiritually possessing him to make him crazy?
No, not spiritually possessing, just making him do things.
I mean, crows do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scientific fact. So I think he's crazy, and you think it's the birds. Colin? What do you think? Which one of us is closer?
Probably Joey.
Birds.
Most of what I understand about the later parts of the game is I just remember reading on the escapist forums about it, and a lot of people say where it really drops the ball is that in the second half it turns into Dragon Ball Z.
Excuse me?
Yeah, apparently as Lucas gets more and more superpowers, I think he gains the ability to fly, and then I guess at some point he runs into another guy who can fly, and then they have a punch up in midair, much like Matrix Revolutions. I don't know. I haven't watched ahead, but
are we sure we're just not that's not all in his head?
Yeah, who knows?
He's still in the bathroom, just crying over the dead body.
That's pretty good.
The police just show up at the end of the game and they arrest him as he flushes the toilet.
Yeah.
After he wakes up from his fever dream.
That would be a pretty funny twist.
That's one of the three. That's one of the three endings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing Quantic Dream games deliver on, is having like several different endings depending on your choices.
Oh man, in Heavy Rain there was like 25 or something. I think I got like 19 of them in the end.
Yeah. Which is more than what Mass Effect 3 delivered, despite its promises. But I don't blame BioWare for that. I blame EA.
I think you could blame BioWare. Go for it. Do it.
No.
JD,
I do blame them for Anthem, though.
How far did I play this?
Yeah.
I played about 3 hours. I think that's a third of the way through.
So I'm skipping through someone's playthrough right now. Did you see the detective in her underwear? Did you get that far?
Well, I mean, of course.
Was that where her gay best friend showed up?
I don't know. She's walking around her apartment in a tank top and her underwear.
Yeah, very hot, man. Hot, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just skipping to where the most watched parts of this playthrough.
Oh my god, that's like when we played Far Cry and there was the waterfall scene. It's like 3 seconds of her in a bathing suit, and you're like, yeah. Pause. Yeah, I think this game's only about 8-9 hours. So I got a good chunk into it.
Yeah, I think the furthest I played into it before was when he was getting chased by the cops and then running through traffic, and you have to hit all the prompts to make sure he doesn't get hit by a car. That's as much as I remember. As far as playing for this time around, furthest I got was him saving the kid from drowning. Then you have to do CPR with the button prompt. I kept screwing it up because the game prompts you to hit the joystick before you're supposed to. You're supposed to hit it when he counts to 3, but I kept hitting when he was counting to 2. So I screwed up the first time around. And then it's game over there. But at least the game has checkpoints.
The game does have checkpoints. If there was no checkpoints, I would have turned this off immediately.
Yeah.
There's just way too much like little shit you have to do in the game, much like in Heavy Rain in a lot of ways. It's like crouch down, inspect this, get back up, dialogue box, crouch back down, inspect that, dialogue box, go over to this person, dialogue box.
Yeah,
It gets very, very. You got to play it in spurts. At least I did.
Yeah, that's true.
I did not play the remastered version, and supposedly they fix a lot of that. Everything's a lot quicker and smoother, so I imagine that would help. But I don't know. The PS2 like graphics and everything really keeps it like a gritty police mystery.
Yeah, I played it on my PS2 as well. Somehow I was able to get the thing to play PS2 games again. Just started up right after plugging in the power. I'm not really sure why, but if the console has power going into it after a certain amount of time, it won't read PS2 discs, but it will still read PS1 discs, which worked out for the next game. But that's neither here nor there for the game.
Got to the weird part. He ran along the side of a building and then disappeared. What?
Just like Spider-Man.
Joey, your real-time aspect of this podcast has been great so far.
Yeah.
I don't know what this ending is. I'm confused. I probably should have watched all the way through. This game gets weird.
So it's official, though? You bought the PS5?
Yep, I bought
it. Awesome.
Should get it in about a week.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Sick. All right.
Yeah, I just want to just want to quickly recount what Yahtzee said about Fahrenheit when he was reviewing Heavy Rain. He's like, say what you will about Fahrenheit. Thank you, I think I will. It was a pretentious stream of QuickTime events with a plot that got its head caught in a bucket of doolally halfway through. And that pretty much sums it up, it sounds like.
Yeah, and while... I mean, it is a video game after all, but I really got the feeling... I mean, you're saying that it gets way too Dragon Ball Z-esque.
That's just what I read.
Yeah, I totally believe it with kind of what's happening here, but even though that the game establishes quote-unquote supernatural elements from the get-go, there was so much still grounded based in reality that it led me to believe that the dude was actually crazy as I'm playing. And clearly, as events will occur, that is not the case. Or not so much in the case of what I was thinking.
I think
that
your game would have been a lot better. Or if they had the time to develop the game both ways, where depending on your actions, it would go crazy or go.
You know what? If two different endings where one goes Dragon Ball Z and then the other is a just in-grounded police mystery, that would be cool. That would be way better, because then that's two completely different aspects to go through and gives it a lot more replay value. But on PS2, I think that's I think it's more limited than that, obviously. But I really think if they kept it in a grounded kind of serial killer-esque mystery, I mean, that's what Heavy Rain became, right? And it got way more popular than Fahrenheit here. For good and for that, I think it's for that reason, and that's what people wanted. So I think they learned from their mistake in this one, and that's what led to Heavy Rain being such a success. I mean, this game still sold like 1 million copies, so it's far from a failure, I think.
Yeah. Plus, Heavy Rain had access to better technology with like 6-axis controls and such.
Yeah, the PlayStation Move was certainly a thing. I had fun with it. Drink the orange juice! Stop putting it back in the fridge!
That's funny.
Puts it up, puts it down, puts it up, puts it... Fuck! No.
Well, even with the regular controller, there's still like motion controls involved.
Oh. It was way easier with the motion with the PlayStation Move. I can confirm that, I assure you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't have too much issue with the QuickTime events in themselves. I do like the dual analog aspect of it, but there's too much action going on the screen where I'm like hyper focused on the semi-transparent button, or I guess like button layout in the middle of the screen. Didn't like that.
Yeah, that's something I had an issue with too the first time I played. You're focusing more on that than on the action on screen, much like a rhythm game.
Yeah, and that's just going to be an inherent battle that you're constantly trying to overcome in games like this.
Yeah. Yeah, Heavy Rain did it a little bit better.
Right, it would flash, and then you would have to react in the same way with the PlayStation Move. Yeah, now that I think about it, that it was swing it left, swing it right. So I was able to concentrate on a lot of the action going on, and then my arms would react with the things on screen. So again, another aspect of, we see what this game did, and they improved upon it in, we'll call it the sequel.
Yeah. But overall, I passed this one.
I guess if I played till the wacky finish, up until the part I played to, I would say I pass it. And I'm interested in more.
I'm gonna fail it.
Same.
And Joey just straight fails. Okay. So the game is actually pretty affordable. You can get the remaster for like $30-$40, and the PlayStation 2 version, PAL or whatnot, is just under $10. I would say for that price, this game's worth it.
Sure. It's
You can
not
actually
that
get it on
long from the
Xbox
sounds of
as
it.
well. Did it come out on Xbox?
Yeah.
I thought it was a PS2 exclusive.
No, it was also on PC.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, the Xbox version is also just under $10.
Nice.
So, not much difference there. Okay. 2 passes and a fail. Next game. Let's go.
All right. It is The Legend of Dragoon for PlayStation. Developed by...
I really wanted Kevin on this podcast for this game. This is like one of his favorite games of all time.
Yeah. I think he really wanted to as well.
Yeah, he was busy. Of course, he's a busy guy. He's got his own things, got his own streams to do. But regardless, we're finally doing it. Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this one for a while.
I think it's been on our how do we slip this game in list for, it's got to be years at this point.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, so it was developed by Japan Studio and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Released on PlayStation in Japan on December 2nd, 1999. In North America on June 14th, 2000. And in the EU on January 19th, 2001.
God, so many delays in the release time with this game. And everything I read pointed to translation. That's what was the holdup.
Yeah.
For North America, it was English. That was the easiest to translate, and for EU, it was multiple languages that they had to translate it into to get it over there. So that's why these release dates were so far apart. At least that's what everything I read pointed to.
I gotcha.
And then when you play the game, you're just like, oh, yeah, they kind of struggled. And before we get into it, when I got the RPG book, it says along the lines of the translation was an extremely difficult part of the game because of a lot of the CGI aspects took up much of the disk space. And then the program of the game with the dialogue box and text only had that character limit. So they were handcuffed in deciding how much disk space they could use with the CGI and the graphic advancements they were making with the game. So just in itself, the dialogue took a hit in that regard. So I found that super interesting that they concentrated on what they wanted this game to be remembered for over something as the dialogue being good enough to what they could get by. So the consensus is people want this game remade just for the dialogue to be fixed in a way.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that either.
I thought this game was cool as fuck.
Yeah, I really liked it. It for the plot, it takes place in a world called Endiness.
Okay, they can change that.
Yeah. It's a medieval fantasy world complete with magic and dragons. We follow the character Dart, who's on a personal mission to find and kill the Black Monster.
Yeah, they can change that too. They can change a lot of these names. I thought it was pretty. Yeah. These names and I guess elementary type dialogue could use some upgrades for sure. Dart is okay.
Yeah.
Dart is fine. That's fine.
And then there's a whole race of people called the Winglies. That can be changed too.
Yeah, you can change that.
But yeah. The Black Monster is an evil entity that destroyed his hometown when he was a child. Along the way, he acquires the ability to transform into a Dragoon, which is basically a human warrior with the powers of a dragon.
Sick.
And as the game progresses, he and his companions uncover a plot to resurrect the god of destruction, which will destroy the world.
Yes, just like from Bastard.
Yeah, and they must stop it from happening.
Did you ever finish Bastard, Joey? Or watch it?
No, I need to.
Oh, come on, man. Get on that.
Yeah, I picked this one because the combat has a major emphasis on quick time events in battle to maximize the damage of each attack. similar to Final Fantasy VIII. Although I feel Legend of Dragoon's system is more involved on that front, because you have what are called additions. That's another thing that could probably be fixed in translation.
Yeah.
Where
Press a button when the squares kind of meet each other, basically. Which, on screen, is totally fine. I get that. It was in that kind of polygonal, just matrixy kind of way. It just kind of comes together. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate on the screen, and you get the point across pretty easily and simplistically. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to push the button ahead of when the square hits the other square, but once you've mastered that, it's pretty simple. And
yeah, it's just a little depth perception thing of what the game wants rather than what you think it needs.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, you start off with what's called the double slash, but then you get volcano, which is like 3 button presses instead of 1. And the game at that point ramps things up by allowing the enemies the ability to counterattack. So if one of the squares turns orange before the next QuickTime event, then you'll have to press circle button instead of X in order to prevent a counterattack. So that helps make things a little more exciting. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. Just makes things more interesting.
Well,
anyway.
it makes it more interactive, which of course in turn makes you more involved with the game. The problem this is the main problem of the game I have. The encounter rate is absurd.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. I thought the encounter rate was a huge misfire, which was very common for games of this time and the RPGs. If they dial this back, and you can actually get ROMs online to play this where the encounter rate is lower, and because the battle system's so involved, you get kind of tired of doing it because of the encounter rate. So lower the encounter rate, and everything's like totally fixed.
Well, I didn't have that big a problem with it. Maybe it's just because I came away from Dragon Quest V, where that had an absurdly high encounter rate.
Yes, but that is no exception.
This I didn't have a big problem with. I mean, I played this time around. I played till the end of the Helena prison. I feel like that was supposed to be like a pun. Go Helena handbasket. But that might be another translation thing to work on in a remake.
Joey?
But
I only made it to the prison. I hated the random encounters, even on the overworld. That annoyed the fuck out of me.
Well, the prison didn't actually have any random encounters. You could actually see like the guards, and then you could actually run away from them, go to like a different room before they catch you, and then you can continue on.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. It's getting to that point was bad.
Yeah, I killed so many little rodent things on my way there. I think I almost leveled up to level 5.
Yeah, I had to kill a number of assassin cocks. That's what the game calls them, not me.
The names in this game. Oh my God.
But yeah, I enjoyed what I played this time around, and back when I first played it, I also really enjoyed it because I found the plot and characters are mostly just okay, but the gameplay is fun, the music is enjoyable.
Oh, the music's one of its best parts for sure. I love that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Had a very rock feel to it.
Yeah,
very much of the time.
Yeah. I thought the CGI in this was phenomenal. And I love the setup for it. They clearly gave the CGI cutscenes so much attention and love, and then I love the decision of having just a basic overworld, like you're out of the SNES era. And then when you get into the town, it's just super highly detailed sprites and, well, not sprites, but like actual polygonal figures. The pre-rendered backgrounds were top notch. I mean, this is what I like about the like this PlayStation, Sega Saturn, era is what Legend of Dragoon focused on here. Were these pre-rendered backgrounds? I thought the decision to do highly detailed towns over an overworld map was a good decision. I really like that.
Yeah, because when you're traveling between towns, you're just on like a rail, just a set path.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the linear storytelling? Because I've seen some mixed reviews of that. Because that, like, I was reading one that, of course, compared it to Final Fantasy of the time. I mean, how could you not? I mean, that was the predominant RPG of this era, and those are very open world-esque. And this one was just you're on a rail throughout the whole story. What'd you guys think of that?
I'm fine with that. I tend to, a lot of the time, I kind of prefer a more linear story. I mean, granted, this is an RPG. It's kind of meant to be more. You kind of expect it to be more open ended, but
Right.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, I mean, I've read it opens up when you get to some discs later and you get to some endgame stuff. If you want to go back and do side quests, you actually have to pop in like disc 1 again. It saves and then it's like, you want to go back to this town. That's only on disc 1. I was like, whoa, okay, that's different.
Yeah. One thing that might turn a few people off for whatever reason is that as the game goes on, basically everybody in your party eventually becomes a Dragoon, if they're not already. It's like, you get Dragoon powers, you get Dragoon powers.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just natural progression of getting stronger as the game progresses.
Yeah, and plus each character has a different style to their Dragoon abilities. Like Dart has fire, and it's all very color coded. The green guy has wind. The girl in the white clothing has healing, and Dart. The black Dragoon powers are like powers of darkness. And then blue is water and ice. All that. That's one thing I really like about the visual style of this game. It knows how to use colors effectively. Everything looks very colorful, beautiful. And of course, combined with the graphics, that makes a very pleasing visual.
I disagree with that because I think the characters get lost in the background.
Oh,
they don't pop enough. So there's some cutscenes, like the one where the boss throws someone over the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like the colors of the people are too much like the background, that they're just not really standing out. So
I could see that for sure. It's a lot of like purple and blue getting mixed together and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough to distinguish between aspects. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. There's one part of the game where one of the main characters dies.
Okay,
like
is that the big twist that Kevin wanted me to get to?
Probably. I don't know. Because it's been a while since I played.
I wonder what this big twist is.
No, it's the identity of the black monster. That's the big twist.
Okay, who is it?
Probably his father.
You really want me to tell you?
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole point of what Kevin wanted me to know. So what's the twist?
Okay, to the audience, major spoilers ahead. So skip maybe a few minutes ahead.
Colin, the game's fucking 22 years old at this point. Like, come on.
Okay, here we go. Spoiler incoming. The black monster is Rose, who is the black Dragoon who joins your party.
Oh. Okay. Well, all right.
I don't know I forget if her name is Rose or Rosa.
Rose. Yeah, that's the chick that saves him at the beginning of the game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So naturally, it's a bit of a shock for Dart because he came to see her as a friend over the course of the game, and then finding out, hey, you killed my village. What the fuck?
What a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to go after my childhood friend now. Screw you.
But yeah, this is one of those few Japanese romances where the childhood friend actually does get the guy.
There you go. Okay, I like that twist. That's good. I like that one.
Yep. And as
Joey said
for
father, and he's wrong.
well, there's another twist with the father. He's kind of the main villain. I say kind of because he's being controlled by the actual main villain.
How many main villains are there?
Good question. It gets pretty complicated near the end of the game. All I know is like Melbu.
So just like Final Fantasy.
Yeah. It's like a guy named Melbu Frama trying to resurrect the god of destruction. He's the guy to stop.
Like you always beat it, and then it's like, oh, never mind. There was a bigger baddie all along that was controlling everything. Is it set up like that?
Yeah. Well, like I was saying before all that, one of the main characters dies in like the first half of the game, kind of like Eris in Final Fantasy VII. But unlike Final Fantasy VII, the game replaces that same character with another that has the same skill set.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
thank God.
You don't end up feeling ripped off for putting effort into building that character's skills.
Well, that's good. That's good news. I like that one.
Yeah.
Could be seen as a cop out though, where there's no
Maybe.
consequence to your action. But yeah, the fact you don't feel cheated after like investing so much time into somebody.
Yeah, it's like I can see that being a cop out in a story, but since this is a video game, it's a bit of a different beast.
Right. Yeah. If you're making it into like an anime or a movie or something, then you don't really need that extra character to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can kind of take that person out. That's fine. Yeah, the video game aspect changes a lot. I mean that's what's unique about like video game storytelling is doing things like that. So we have the two different game mechanics of QuickTime events. Is what Legend of Dragoon, what they did here, is that something you'd like to see in the future for other games?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like a lot of RPGs could benefit from more QuickTime events in like or at least turn-based ones anyway.
Yeah. I would have like I keep bringing up like Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. I think it'd be cool if more things were kind of quick time based or time based with extra impact. I guess kind of like Paper Mario. That had a lot of.
I was just about to point out that's where Paper Mario stands out. I mean, Final Fantasy VIII did it, but then after that, didn't really see it anymore. That I can remember anyway. But yeah, this game really, I mean, it wasn't a huge hit when it came out, but it's really gained a cult following.
It sold 1 million. The problem is it apparently cost like 16 million. I'm just reading off the wiki for this information. So that's a lot of money at the time. Fuck, it's like a lot of money now if you're making an RPG. Right?
Yeah, really.
So selling 1 million kind of doesn't get the job quite done in that aspect.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can see that. But it still gained enough of a following that it was put on PlayStation's greatest hits roster.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of these reviews, and it didn't review very well at the time. Like a 74 on Metacritic. GameSpot has a 6.4, IGN a 7. I mean, for those things, that's low.
Yeah, very middling at best. But I really liked it. Sure, like I said, the plot is a little bit lackluster compared to other stuff like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger.
I was pretty. I mean, it's no Dragon Quest, 5 type plot, but I mean, is it that much different than some of these other RPGs we played from the era? I plot wise, I don't know. I mean, it seemed par for the course to me.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. Maybe the translation kind of dragged things down a little bit, but
I don't know. I didn't really mind it all that much. Maybe that's because I was like, I get it now. Like I understand why it's not like they're bad they're not purposely making the translations bad or someone's not good at their job. It's literally a handcuff
Yeah.
that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
No, they shall
Product
be
of the time.
fired.
They should all get fired. Yeah. Okay.
Back in time and fire them.
Fire them all.
Not just that, put them in the pillory so people can throw tomatoes at them.
Okay. I'm passing Dragoon. I like this game a lot. It's definitely up there for like if I'm making an RPG list, like favorite or top or something, Dragoon's gonna make it on that list somehow or another.
Oh, for sure. Easy pass from me.
I'm failing it.
Of
Joey, let
course.
me ask you this: if the encounter rate was better, would that sway your opinion in a different direction?
Probably not. I mean, if it wasn't like, if it was not turn based, maybe I would like it. I just don't really like these type of games. So, I
Okay.
don't know. The story sounds interesting, but just how it's delivered, I don't like.
I feel like that's not the appeal to the game, though. Maybe because I was way into the CGI and pre-rendered backgrounds and all that, and the music. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. Okay.
Yes.
So another 2 passes and a fail. Joey's hard to please, hard man to please with these games. That's fair. That's fair. All right, I want to go first. My favorite
Okay.
was Legend of Dragoon. I really liked it. I definitely want to play this more. How much? I didn't say how much this costs. I think it's like a 60-hour game. Let me see. Legend of Dragoon. It is, about 60 hours, 50 to 60, depending on your
Yeah, that sounds about
side
right.
quest. Legend of Dragoon. God, I got this game a while ago too. Okay, it's not even that expensive. It's like $30 to $40.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you can. Can you get it on the PlayStation Network? I don't think you can anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you could, it's
Maybe
not
on
going
the
to run you more than
May-
$10.
Maybe on the PlayStation 3 or Vita.
Maybe. But yeah, Dragoon favorite game. I am going to go. That encounter rate was really frustrating. I'm in between. You know what? I'll go an A. I'm going A. I'm feeling generous. Going A for Dragoon, and I am going. I like games like Fahrenheit, so I'm going B. Maybe if I played longer, that would have been a C. How about that?
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Joey.
I'll go next.
Nah, we want
never-
Joey to go. Joey should go.
Okay.
Okay.
Which game did you hate less?
Probably Fahrenheit. I probably hate it less. But I'm going to give them both C's.
Okay.
All right, Colin.
And for me, mine's the same as you, JD. Favorite is Dragoon, B for Fahrenheit, and A for Dragoon.
Oh, okay. So Dragoon getting a B and Indigo getting a B. That's what it kind of comes down to. I'm not rounding up for Dragoon.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not rounding up, but I'm not doing it. Okay.
Stop by random counter.
So Joey, it's your theme pick next. I guess we'll decide in a couple weeks if that'll be the last one of the year or not. We'll find out how we're feeling and how busy we all are. Kind of figure out our schedules, but that'll do it for episode 125. 125 of these suckers. Wow, played a lot of games. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye now.